Regardless of whether you are a year-round camper or you're just now getting your camper out of storage and getting ready for those first trips of the season, you gotta do maintenance. Socket slipped and he gouged himself.
Alright guys, so if you own an RV, chances are you have one of two different hot water heaters. One is an Atwood and one is a Suburban. Now there are other brands out there, Furrion and some other Insta-Hot ones. I'm not familiar with those, so I'm going to talk about these two, the Atwood and the Suburban today. If you have an Atwood, you don't have an anode rod. If you have a Suburban, you have an anode rod. So today we're going to flush out the water heater and we're going to change out our anode rod. And we'll tell you exactly what's going on. Alright, so first thing we want to do is get our safety measures out of the way. If you're hooked up to shore power, go ahead and disconnect. If you're running just on your battery power, go ahead and turn your battery disconnect off so you've separated the battery from the trailer. Make sure all your switches on the inside for your heating element and for your gas heater are turned off. And then you want to shut down your propane as well. Now from there, what we're going to do is we're going to relieve the pressure in the system by opening up our low point valves. And then we're also going to relieve some pressure here just in case. So I've already got that open. You can tell that all the pressure is released. You can actually hear it draining out of the low point drains right now. Alright, so on our trailer we have a Suburban water heater, so that means we do have an anode rod. And if you're not sure what kind of water heater you have, open up your panel and typically your manufacturer will be listed right here. We are going to be replacing our anode rod with a Suburban original manufactured part. They do make generics, but for a little bit more, just go ahead and go with the brand name. So what we're going to do now is pull the old one out, take a look at it, and then we'll start flushing the system.
This is what happens when you're not very careful and you're doing maintenance. Socket slipped and he gouged himself.
Alright guys, so here's a pro tip. Always make sure that you have the right tool for the job. I swore I had the right socket on and it wasn't. It was the wrong size. It slipped and I paid the price. So now we got the right tool thanks to Home Depot, and we'll be back in just a second. The Suburban water heater anode rod is a 1 1/16 socket. That's what you'll need to take it off. Grab the bucket. And now you can see all those hard water deposits and calcium deposits. And that's what we're going to be flushing out today in the water. Alright, so now my lovely assistant is going to flush out the system using our metal extension wand onto the hose. Now Camco does make a special tool just for this. But since we already had this, we didn't want to go ahead and buy another part. So here we go.
There. Turn this on. Woo! Back it up, back it up. It's going to be too close. Ah, that's what we need to do.
And as you can see, It's doing its job.
Sorry.
And look at all of that nastiness that's coming out, all that sediment. You can disinfect your water heater by pumping it up full of vinegar, letting it sit, and then rinse it again. But we're not doing it this time. And look at that, it's looking nice and clear coming out.
That stuff down there, all that gray and white stuff on the ground, that came out of our water heater.
And that is why we do a flush. Should be doing it twice a year, but we're a little behind on that.
But at least we're doing it.
This is the old anode rod, and believe it or not, it still has a lot of life left. So we're actually going to put that back in, and we'll check it again in another couple months. This is what a brand new one looks like here. Alright guys, so like I said, we're going to put the old one back in. Believe it or not, it does have life left, but we will monitor it now that it's deteriorating more. Next time we'll probably just go ahead and change it out. So what you want to do is hand thread it. Find the grooves, that way you're not trying to cross thread it. The weight of the rod will make it go off kilter. Once you got it threaded, then you come back in with your socket and tighten it up. Alright, so now what you want to make sure is close up your low pulling drains if you haven't done that already. Make sure that everything is sealed up before you put water back to the coach, and then one by one start turning on your systems and check it out.